And if they can't, then it's going to be a disaster. Basically, I am here with Britthebadger.
Hello!
Who's very famous for lots of League of Legends characters. You do non-League of Legends characters
yes, I do.
on occasion. And also Jennifer Jones. Jennifer Jones has this amazing Maleficent cosplay that I saw her at SakuraCon. She also was freakishly, amazingly like Xena, the warrior princess. Problem with Jennifer is you don't know you're looking at Jennifer ever. Like, Jennifer is like this chameleon, and so she probably doesn't get enough credit when she's actually going around doing cosplay, because you don't know it's her. Like, I've walked by Jennifer and she's like, "Hey Todd," I'm like, "Hello person, it's me."
Yep.
Like, I don't know who me is.
I to be fair,
You're like
I
Princess
do
Peach once, or
I was Princess
Yeah,
Peach.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do introduce myself as my full name too, not
Right.
just JJ. So.
I'm also incredibly dumb when I'm at cons because I'm so tired. So I can usually, well, no, I can't always spot you because sometimes you're a robot.
Sometimes I am.
Yeah,
but...
sometimes you're a robot with a giant sphere, or sometimes you're 8 feet tall, which is.
Or sometimes I just don't look like me. You know, I change height, I change shape.
Yeah, you do a lot of morphing. Basically, well, first off, I would like to show a little bit of the cosplay that you guys have done before for those that don't know. So I'm going to show a little bit of Brits, and this is going to be a little bit behind the scenes of you working on stuff.
That's fine.
I don't actually have enough footage of you, which is weird. So I am a terrible host and documentarian. So let's see. Let's go Britthebadger.
Woo!
And this is right now. You can't see it, but I can see it. It's you as the spider. What's the name? I forgot her name. Elise from League of Legends. And these these enormous shoes that are ridiculous that make me like tremble with fear.
Those shoes are death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They are painful death.
Now, are you swaying because of the pain, or is this or is it a little bit of both, like an artistic choice, and also I need to feel blood?
I'll just say yes.
Okay.
Yes to that. Yes. Yeah, the way the shoes are, it's a 5-inch heel. Like, if you were just to wear heels on their own without like any platform, it's a 5-inch heel from toe to heel.
Right.
So it's a 5-inch rise, and then it's a 10-inch platform on top of that. So it. Like, I keep on having to shift my weight because otherwise I'll lose blood flow to my feet.
Which is not, like, really a good thing.
Which is not a good thing. But I've since PAX, and I was able to actually create these little, like, super cushy pads. Because before I only had, like, some moleskin on my feet. It was, like, a little bit of cush, but I got some better cushiness under there. But
have you ever tried, like, surgical padding? It's adhesive, and it's also got a little bit of cushion. I don't cosplay, but I decided to wear a pumpkin on my head for an entire Halloween party, and that hurts your head.
Yeah.
And I bought surgical foam that has an adhesive to it.
Okay.
So, and I put that on the inside, and that saved me.
That sounds wonderful.
From
yeah.
having a flat skull.
One of the things generally though, like if you're gonna have anything that rubs, moleskin is amazing.
Okay, moleskin's great.
Is amazing.
This
is
is you working very hard.
Yeah.
On this footage right now. Sanding away, getting ready for your Jinx costume.
All the sanding. Oh my god, that fishbones gun. I ended up with only having a week to make that, and that was kind of hellish.
That's not stressful.
It was very stressful.
Okay.
Never.
We're
again.
going to go back to camera. Now we're going to check out some footage of Jennifer Jones, who is in this footage Maleficent. And I wish I had more footage of you as the warrior princess, but I think we got grabbed for another interview. So.
Yeah, I think you just have the one from
right.
Ski Girl Con.
That's we need more. We need more footage. This is Jennifer Jones as Maleficent. This is really amazing. I apologize that you guys can't see the footage right now. I will do some kind of video mirroring. Actually, that'll be on my to-do list. This is an amazing costume. How long did it take for you to make this costume? Not only that, you have like a lot of makeup you have to do as well.
Yeah, the makeup was trying to perfect it along the way. And I probably didn't perfect it till this Halloween when I wore it again.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh, it looks so much better than the times before. The costume itself, I think I only spent a couple weeks on it. Because I think it was right before Emerald City or right after Emerald City, I decided I actually wanted to do a costume for SakuraCon.
Right.
So I kind of rushed through it, and it turned out okay. there are things, of course, that you look back and you're always, I want to change that.
I wish I'd done that one
I want to
thing.
redo the horns and all these other things, but it wasn't a ton of time on that costume.
You barely got to walk anywhere at SakuraCon though. Like
That's
people
true.
were constantly stopping you, including
probably-
Britt
Well, luckily I got to just snag you because I was like, I want to take photos of you with you.
for like 2 hours.
like 2
as Todd
hours.
waits for his interview.
Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
I think part of the reason was that from heel to horn, I was
From heel to horn.
I was 6'10", I believe.
Is that some
So I kind
biography
of-
title for like a book from heel to horn?
Oh,
Oh
that
my
sounds
god,
really
I'm stealing this.
good.
Maybe that's the new name for the show. I don't know. That is
Maybe
an
you should
excellent
steal
costume.
that for Elise.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
From heel to spike.
heel to spike.
Mandible? No.
So, are you guys allowed to... Okay, you are always shrouded in secrecy. What you guys are working on right now.
No,
but
not
what,
always.
what conventions... Well, not always, but you're not like the video game industry. Like, we're not admitting to a Mass Effect 4, but, well, they are. But, what cosplays are you two working on right now, and what conventions are you planning on attending?
So right now I'm actually in the middle of working on an inspired version of the Lady Amalthea from the book and movie The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle.
Which is an amazing cartoon.
It's so amazing. It's like my favorite childhood movie, and I love the book, and it's amazing and wonderful. And so what I'm doing is that I'm taking the Lady Amalthea, and since her dress in the film is really quite simple, what I'm doing is taking it and making it inspired by the 15th century fashions. In particular, I'm taking a lot of reference from the unicorn tapestries, the Lady and the Unicorn. So
Right.
So I'm using the dresses that are in there as kind of like an inspiration of how to go about it. So there's like 3 different layers that are going into the dress. There's like a chemise, an underdress, and an overdress. And
So you're not getting your boyfriend to dress up as the old man to scream at you and stuff?
no.
Like, you
Not
know,
so
or
much.
like the giant Red Bull. Because you can get Ryan Wells to build the Red Bull, probably, right? Have like LEDs and horns.
That would be epic.
I don't know if Ryan Wells sees this. Yeah, like, Ryan Wells, your next project is the Red Bull. And I will be the skeleton who's drunk all the time. This is great wine.
And then we have to get the cat. Hi, for I be a cat.
Oh, that's right. God, that cartoon was crazy.
It's so good.
And also disturbing at some points. The tree makes me uncomfortable.
the tree.
The tree with the giant boobs.
Blah, 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 blah,
What?
blah,
Yeah. No. Like, I'm watching this as a child. I'm like, no.
Oh god,
No molesting tree.
I'm engaged to a Douglas fir.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that movie.
So well acted. And the cartoonist who was behind that version of The Last Unicorn also did like The Hobbit and
Yeah,
Return of the King, which were
actually, the studio that did the animation for The Last Unicorn actually went on to become Studio Ghibli. Their next film after The Last Unicorn was Nausicaa. Valley of the Winds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh cool. Very
So-
awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you do. Learning. Yay.
I'm going
But
to
yeah.
have to Google this.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the film because they just bring a lot of the art style in with like Western art style, along with a lot of like tapestry inspired, like the millefeuille, artistic kind of sense in the movie. It's really
Right.
cool because it's got all that very tapestry feel to it, and I love it. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm learning a lot of new skills through it and learning things like embroidery.
And that
Lots
is
of
for what convention?
not a particular convention. I have a loose because it's gonna take a while because there's a lot of hand embroidery involved.
Right.
But it's gonna hopefully, like, my loose goal right now is SakuraCon
Right.
ish. We'll see if I get it done by then. If not, then
Maybe PAX.
we'll see. I actually have a different costume that I'm working on for PAX. So far, it's been under wraps for like more than a year.
So you've been working
But-
on it for a year.
Yeah, like on and off ish, but like it's been a long slog with this one, and it's gigantic, and
So it is physically large
it's gonna be physically big.
and painful, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably, but it's gonna be epic and wonderful.
And what are you working on?
So just to say, she does a lot more detail and she spends a lot more time on her costumes. So it sounds like I have a lot of things, but the detail in one costume of hers is worth probably 3 of my costumes.
Oh no!
The detail, the time she puts into it
JJ
is...
puts in so much effort in her stuff, though. She just like makes all these things. She's like, I'm
I
gonna
can
make
tell
this
you, I
thing,
can
and
tell
then
you
she's
guys
like,
are
there,
actually
just
friends.
like, oh my god.
Well, I know about but the question was,
Yeah.
what are you working
So,
on?
I am currently working, just finishing up. I'm finishing up Pandora from Pandora Trinity of Sin.
Okay.
And I will be wearing her to Wizard World Portland next weekend.
Okay, so I will be seeing you there,
Yes,
and I will be
yes.
incredibly tired. I'm worn out.
And I do a lot of costumes for friends as well.
Okay.
In fact, most of my costumes, I usually do 1 costume for me and then 3 for people at conventions. But I'm working on an Element Woman
Wow.
as well.
So that's a lot of work.
It looks
Yeah.
awesome.
So you're doing 3 other costumes on top of the costume that you're doing for a convention.
Most of the time,
I think we've kind of
Especially-
narrowed in
especially
on
for
why you think you're not doing enough detail on your own
PAX
costume.
and Emerald City
Right.
are usually the big ones. But I'm just finishing up an Element Woman for a friend down. She's gonna be wearing it down as well to Wizard World Portland.
Very cool.
And then for Emerald City, I'm working on, which a lot of people are right now, the new Thor, the female Thor.
The female Thor should be cool.
So I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna do a great female Thor. Yeah.
Nice and tall and everything.
Yeah.
So, but
You
then
get
I'm
the,
also
the Norwegian thing.
Yeah, you don't have to be short with everything. You can
Well,
be
Tony
tall.
Tony Darling did a fantastic Thor, and Tony Darling is tiny. She's a tiny person. Doesn't look like that in the photos, but yeah, height is no limitation.
Your presence is going to be
You're
amazing.
gonna have the presence.
I'll probably wear.
Is it
some
annoying for
boots,
photographers
but-
who are shorter than you? Like, is that like
Well,
an
they
issue
just
sometimes?
get like a good shot of my nose.
That's great. Yeah.
But then also from the same comic, I'll be doing the Unworthy Thor. My housemate is actually going to go as Unworthy Thor, and he's like super working out and trying to get all buffed up for it. And then my brother's going to go as the Allfather, Odin.
Wait. Who's your brother is going to go as Allfather?
Yeah, the horns are huge.
And your housemaid is going to be who?
Unworthy Thor.
Unworthy
so
Thor.
The male Thor.
This
who's
is blowing
no
my
longer-
mind.
No
The
longer worthy.
entire
So we're gonna have a
sentence,
nice
actually.
little combination there.
That's
It'll be
that's a
fun.
lot of Thor. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you see us there, you're gonna have to scream at us, and we will have to get lots.
And then
of
I'll have to
footage.
tell you who I am.
Yes, because clearly I'm incapable of knowing who people are. That's amazing. Those are very cool costumes.
So, lots of
Are you going to
projects.
Wizard World now?
I haven't been able to be able to take the time or get the funding to get
Yeah.
down there, but
If
Yeah,
if
people-
if she,
it's
If
surprising,
she had
like,
the money for tickets, I would let her have my
Yeah.
hotel room.
Cosplay Boom and all of us, we're in Seattle right now, and it's like a 3-hour drive, but even then, hotel is like $400.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's that kind of fun.
People don't
realize how
Those are very
expensive.
I have a hotel, and
Right.
I have an extra spot in the hotel, but tickets are expensive for Wizard World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Especially single days right now are a little over the top.
Yeah. People forget the cost of cosplay. There's a
Yeah.
lot of different costs.
There's a
Cosplay.
reason. It
Yeah,
costs. Oh, God.
cosplay.
But yeah, there's a reason why I'm pretty much sticking to like the very local.
It's the most
process
boring
stuff.
accounting show on how to it's a deal show for cosplay.
How do you budget all these things? How do you do the accounting?
I've made everything have styrofoam cups, and I sleep on couches. It's like, I don't know.
Oh, God.
We're in dumpsters. I'm trash man this year. Yeah, no, it's very expensive. Also, everybody who's watching the live stream right now, remember you can actually ask a question of these two people, and you can't ask me a question because I will refuse because I'm antisocial. But yeah, no, ask them a question about the cosplays they've done. They're absolutely amazing. Neither of you have really started your own business, but you are.
I'm
You
working
are
towards
since I've
it.
known you since I worked at NBC.
Yeah.
I've known you that long. You've been slowly getting there. Like
Yeah.
you're not like rushing in. You've just been like slowly progressing your Britthebadger empire.
Yeah, like basically it's been like rough just trying to figure out where and how I want to go about doing like business stuff because this is what I love. Like I consider myself an artist. Everything that I do is like
And that's what cosplay is.
And
It's
that-
just wearable
all of
art.
this is
It's
art.
not like
all of it is art, and that's a lot of the thing is like like a lot of people are like, oh, that's just a hobby for me. It's my artwork. It's what I do. It's my passion. Like,
Right.
and it's not just the cosplay stuff. I'm also venturing more into like original concepts and also working with other photographers and
people
you
don't
know.
mind seeing original concepts
I know,
at conventions at all. I've
and,
seen a
like-
couple of people do original stuff, and this is very
Yeah.
big in New Zealand, and they have wearable art fests
Yeah.
and stuff like that, where
So, yeah.
they'll just create costumes and.
So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working towards and just trying to like poking my head into different kinds of business models and just seeing what would work. And right now I'm actually working on those Fluttershy wings. You remember those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow ones that they can get posed.
Yeah,
Um,
those were brilliant.
Yeah, I'm actually right now I'm working on trying to get that wing design set so that I'm doing prototyping for it. We're going to be picking up some materials for prototyping actually today. But trying to get that design more reliable so that I can be able to create frames for other people so that they can create their own awesome art wings.
And Brittany has a really great Facebook page you should go to. I
Yeah.
have it I'm going to bring it up here right now. We're still going to be on camera. And it's Britthebadger, artist.
Yeah.
Britthebadger.
H-E.
Badger. It'll crop up. She's got 26. You have 28,266 likes.
That's true.
So that has grown a lot.
It has been, because I think Facebook ended up picking up my page in the algorithm for some reason.
That must be nice.
Yeah, it did, and then it's dropped off recently. So
Well,
like for like a few months, it was like, oh my goodness, it's like getting all these.
our generation
people
is like a
that.
slave to algorithms. Like when it comes to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram,
Freaking
like it's just
algorithms.
and Tumblr. Yeah, you just like one day you'll have your big day. Like I have a gaming channel called Invader Boom, which I don't do a lot with, and that thing exploded. Like why I had ignored it for 6 months, and
And they're just like, what is this?
I'm like, I'm not doing anything on this channel. Why are so many people subscribing?
But
Yeah, the algorithms are rough.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great page. If you want to see all the work that she's been doing, she's really good about updating on the page.
I've been trying to do I've been trying to keep up with doing posts that are useful to people and doing work in progress stuff and yeah, so just trying to keep it going.
Jennifer, how did you get into cosplay?
Actually, my friend Teresa, who's a good friend, she's actually done some cosplays with me too.
Is she local?
Awesome.
She is. She actually, it was 2009, I think. I'd been wanting to go to SakuraCon for a while, and she convinced me that we should both go and we should both dress up.
Right.
And I was mortified. Like I was like, I can't go in public dressed like this. No.
Why would you make me do this?
And she had gone to Japan and just got back right before the con. She's like, I don't think I'm gonna dress up. I'm like, I can't do this by myself. you have to dress up.
It's a lot of panicking.
So yeah, she dressed up even though she was sick and didn't feel well, which she was a real trooper for that. Just so I could get my cosplay debut, and it was just a dress that I had modified, and I was still, I couldn't wear that by myself in public. And then since then, I started to get into more of the sewing, and then in the last few years, the crafting portion of it. So,
Right.
I've made a lot of costumes. Some of them aren't really noteworthy, but there's been a lot out there, and so it's just been getting more and more and more since then. So
I think they've been noteworthy. Yeah, I mean, you get
Well,
stopped quite a bit for photographs.
Well, I
and
mean,
stuff.
like I said, some of them haven't been. Some of them I think are I'm
Right.
pretty proud of. But yeah, she's the one that got me into cosplay. So Teresa,
No.
if you're watching, thank you.
Me.
Well, we should have her on the show.
I
At
love
some
her.
point.
I love her. Your divine Soraka.
Oh yeah,
I love
another
the
very
bottom of the
very
skirts.
tall one.
It's awesome. You may have actually gotten some footage of it because she was wearing it when I was in Elise at one point.
It's hard to tell. We get a lot of footage.
Yeah.
It's hard to
You
sort
wouldn't be
through.
able to figure me out.
he
Like,
wouldn't
Is
recognize
that
you.
her? I don't know.
I'm being shamed on this episode for some reason. Like, Todd doesn't care about people. What were you guys both? And I asked this in the documentary, obviously, but what were you guys both like growing up? Because I sense shyness from both of you early on, but you have decided to do something that is like the polar opposite of shyness. That normal, everyday people who consider themselves to be maybe even aggressively outgoing would be terrified to do. And that seems to be like an amazing leap to me. Like to go from being as shy, and grew up incredibly shy. They thought I had something wrong with me. They had me tested basically, like Sheldon, because I wouldn't talk. This is how shy I was, and now that's changed. So obviously, I can't shut up. But what changed for you? Like, how did you make this leap into doing something that is so outgoing?
I don't know. I think I mentioned this before as well, but I think that once I kind of hit adulthood, I stopped really, I guess, caring as much of what people thought, and if someone thinks ill of me, then they just don't know me well enough, I imagine.
Right.
But then also kind of, carrying yourself taller and prouder, and just having fun and being happy with who you are, I guess, is, I kind of just realized that as I got older, and now I wouldn't necessarily say I'm outgoing. Like, I don't think I could not do this in front of an actual crowd of people.
Right.
But you guys aren't really there.
Oh!
It's just a camera.
You're not.
So I can do this.
You're not real people. All 18 of our viewers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm over my shyness, but I'm definitely, I can put on a face and go out in public and stand tall.
Okay.
Literally.
How about for you, Britt?
Well, for me, yeah, like, I grew up very, very shy. Like, really, really shy. And I've always had this kind of worry and anxiety about me, about, like, interacting with people, like, but, like, it's been, like, since I got introduced to the whole, like, costuming and art stuff, that I've just since then grown into, it's just, like, kind of like you make this awesome thing and you want to share it with people.
Right.
And it also helps that you can wear it, and it also, like, kind of changes how you feel about it. Like, you feel more confident in it, and you're just like, okay, we can do this. And then also it, like, in a way also, like, having a costume on also kind of breaks down some barriers in a way. Like,
Right.
because it gives something, at least a starting point for creating conversation with other people. Like, they come up to you and you're like, hey, that's awesome. Or, like, you go up to someone else that is wearing something amazing, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then you start a conversation with that because you're both excited about something, and it just opens a door. It's a really great icebreaker to just step over that initial anxiety, and then you just exude this excitement.
Yeah, it creates this kind of, like, illusionary room where everyone knows that they're a fan of the same thing. I talked about this in the last live stream, and it's why I think cosplay is so fascinating, is you become this nexus point of, okay, everyone who's taking a photograph of you is a fan of either A, how well you did the costume,
Mm-hmm.
or B, that character, and everyone who's taking a photo of that costume is also a fan of that character, so they all know that they can talk to themselves as well as you. So all of a sudden you've created a room of people who are like a big fan of League of Legends or a big fan of Maleficent all at once. And it's a strange thing to see at a con. And sometimes when I'm at a convention, it's really strange, is that I can tell something really important is happening. Like, I can tell there's a Maleficent happening, or your costume as Elise, because I'll be walking the halls and then the traffic will, like, stop. And I can't get anywhere, and that tells me there's a cosplayer somewhere down the line who is stopping traffic. And then, like, I swerve through, and sure enough, it's like one of them. One of them is the cause, and then the security people are like, "You've got to move."
Yeah.
And then they're upset.
That's another thing where you just have to, when you're in a costume and then, like, you get that kind of, like, wall of people, it's just like, cool, like, thanks, like, and then it's just
About
like,
hard to make your exit too. People need to remember that, like, cosplayers, some of these costumes not so
like
comfortable.
sometimes you're like, okay, I have to take a break, and then if someone comes up and you're like, sorry, I need to take a break, and it also kind of, like, knowing that and knowing how you are doing in your costume, and also just having that confidence, it's like, no, I can't just stand for a picture right now.
Yeah, it's hard.
And it's hard, and I feel
Because you
awful
feel
if I have
terrible
to do it.
for saying no.
But sometimes it also just is like, wait, okay, like, it just, again, it helps with the shyness and the confidence of knowing yourself and knowing where your limits are, and also, like, interacting with people and being polite about everything and addressing different situations.
Have you guys ever had to deal with, like, harassment of any kind so far? I mean, largely...
No, I'm usually too intimidating in the heels.
Yeah.
You
No
just
one's
have
really
it.
gonna F with Maleficent. It's not gonna be like.
And honestly, I'm pretty under the notice, like with like I don't have a web page or anything necessarily,
Right.
so I don't have to deal with any online harassment that way.
Right.
So and then in person, like I said, no one really, and everyone's been really great. Like I really love the cosplay
Yeah, the community is amazing.
Yeah,
And
so,
the only thing you hear about once in a while is just one or two people, and they tend not to be part of the community in the first place.
yeah,
anyways.
and they usually get pointed out pretty quickly and shunned.
Yes, we are very good
blacklisted
about
and-
hunting.
Oh, God.
That's one thing that I like about the cosplay community, because it's kind of like that scene in Lord of the Rings where everyone, they light the fires on top of the towers, and everyone
Oh yeah,
everyone knows to
post
go
and
to
shares.
war, and everyone's pretty good about it. Like there's a lot of,
Oh, yeah.
like it's obvious, like there's been a lot of evidence shown that this person has been harassing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For me,
So-
for the harassment issue, like usually, when I'm at a con, like usually I have Ian with me because a lot of times I end up having him like just like helping to hold things and
Right,
helping
and
me manage
Ian's got
crowds
that
and
death
such.
stare, right?
just having him as a presence.
Ian seems really, really sweet, and he is a really sweet guy, but when he just goes dead face,
He has been told that he has an angry
yeah, his
face.
resting,
It's the eyebrows.
and yeah,
It's all in the
yeah,
eyebrows.
because like for women there's resting bitch face, and then for men,
It's like resting angry face.
Ian has, I have a resting angry face. Like people see me and they're like, "Why are you so mad?" I'm like, "I'm fine." But yeah,
Yeah.
Ian's got a little bit more intensity.
Yeah, so usually when he's around, like, then there's really no issue with it. I mean, if he's not, there's if there's not, there's a little bit of a difference. Like I can notice a bit more. Like people are like, oh my goodness, little like cute innocent person. It's like, no, but
Yeah, that's worrisome.
but yeah, no. For the online community though, like as long as like whatever stuff is like closer into what I'm doing online, like the community's great and amazing. The further away it gets from my homepage stuff, like that's where you start getting the trolls.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, I think what I like is the cosplay community is growing at such an exponential rate, but
Yeah.
I don't feel that's necessarily changing. The people who are joining, I feel like they genuinely have the same love of cosplay.
Yeah.
And I know we see some things between competition and theoretical arguments about who should be wearing what and stuff like that, and there's always going to be a little bit of that when there's some, because it's easy to be jealous as an artist. It's way worse if you're a painter, by the way. So if you're in cosplay and you've been a professional painter, I will just let you know that being a professional painter is like, that community is probably the cattiest community on the planet that I've ever been a part of. Like, just hate. So,
Wow.
cosplay community is amazingly positive and encouraging, and people trying to help each other, even when they know that it's going to make that person better at something than they are, because it's really remarkable. It's really
Yeah.
inspiring to deal with.
And I feel like that's part of one of the big things too, is like I love in with this, at least this community starting up with cosplay and also extending out to other artists too. There's been an upsurge of just trying to share what you're doing and teach other people, so you're raising the water level basically.
And that's been happening really fast.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a little terrifying. Because and that's why I always try to remind people who are at your guys' level to remind people who are thinking about getting into cosplay, listen, this is not where we started. There is a path. And sometimes people right out of the gate, like Ryan Wells just popped on the scene and he's like, okay, I'm going to do a Skeksis. I think that's how you say it. I'm a big Dark Crystal fan, but not apparently enough to know how to say it properly. But yeah, some people are just savants and they show up on the scene, or they're just so obsessive. There's one guy, I forgot your name, but he did a Galactus and he's amazing. His Galactus is like the end. No one's doing a better Galactus than his. And that was his first cosplay, and it's just terrifying that can happen. But yeah, don't look at costumes like theirs and think you can't do it. It takes time, and you may have one or two costumes that are like, I'm ashamed of, or you'll be ashamed of later.
Well, it's also
But that's the truth of like every artist, right? Like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
show you my first painting. That's not going to happen.
I mean, it's also true too, because with costuming and cosplaying, as it's growing, the number of tutorials and materials that are available now,
Right.
even from just like
Oh, yeah.
a few years ago, like when I first made Oriana, that was my first ever venture into armor making. That was my first ever venture into thermoplastics.
That was a huge...
Warbler wasn't available or
Yeah,
even invented.
That's
that.
right.
And people were like, "Oh, is that Warbler?" No, it's not. That was like only like 3 years ago. Warbler's very new on the scene.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's amazing how many tutorials have blown up since then. When I was working with Wonderflex, there were two tutorials available for Wonderflex.
And there's a lot of free ones, and there's a lot of ones you can pay for. And the ones you can pay for are actually really cheap. And I kind of feel like I need to plug my friend Bill Duran real quick from Punish Props.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's really good about showing people how to do stuff, and he also sells ebooks, and they're dirt cheap. And I'm gonna click here. We'll see how long it loads.
Bought his ebooks, and like I thought I knew plenty about it. I was like, ooh, that's a really good idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It's like
he's very mechanical.
Yeah.
His mind is very mechanical, and he grew up working on cars and machines and stuff like that. And I think Bill's mind moves in different directions than other people, but he's great at problem solving, and I've never seen him just be like, I give up. I'm not doing this anymore. Like he always solves the problem. His latest book is called Foam Armor Smithing Volume 3, Undersuits, Straps, and Lights. And that's for $5 right now on the Punish Props website. And you'll see some photography from Cosplay Boom that we've been doing. We're getting better at our photography and video.
Yay.
As we go along doing the documentary. So
I feel like with all these books and ebooks and tutorial books that are coming up, like I need to start making like a library, like a physical library shelf of all these things just to have available. So if I have like friends or other crafters that want to come over,
it would be great if we could start having like hardcover versions of them and stuff like that.
Like Kami cosplays.
Yeah,
she
does.
Them,
yeah, and she's delightful.
Yeah.
She is very sweet. I was like 30 minutes. I do not like being late. My girlfriend, who is in chat right now, will attest to this. I have a problem with being late. It makes me very upset. And I was 30 minutes late to her interview at BlizzCon, but she was very gracious. She's incredibly talented and very sharing with what she has learned. It's
she's kind of like one of the beginning people that I knew of with cosplay, especially with the armor and such.
I didn't realize, and she has a very good sense of color when it comes to painting as well. And people don't understand how much.
Well, her husband actually was originally doing all the painting.
Oh, he's been doing. Yeah,
he was the one who did all the painting beforehand, and she's only just recently started to learn how to do the painting.
Right. And the other thing, probably if you're not a cosplayer right now and you're thinking about it, prepare to sand. That is a thing. I have watched Brittany sand a lot for extended periods of time.
Any sort of armor or prop making will require, or like little pieces will almost definitely require sanding. I'm sure that Bill Duran can also attest to this too. Sanding.
I'm concerned for the longevity of Bill Duran. I have more shots of just dust flying in his face as he's like grinding something away. The person who was Galactus was Kevin Pichon. I made it my mission statement when I started the documentary that we would give him screen time in the documentary because he's briefly shown in Heroes of Cosplay Episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like this amazing costume. They're like,
the auto paint.
It's mainly made of auto paint, and that's his soundbite. So there's a lot more in Cosplay Boom Origins 1 and 2 about that. He also made an amazing MODOK with all the characters from AIM. Just a super nice guy. Kevin Pichon just loves doing it. He's great. And if you see his stuff, if you see his MODOK, and there's not a lot of MODOKs out there, you should drop by and say hi. He's just an amazing artist. We've got some other Cosplay Boom alum in the website right now, Core Geek Props.
Yay!
Who's always good about telling me things that I don't know or have forgotten. He has a great memory. He's the one who told me this. He has a cosplay family. His daughter does amazing, amazing
Mad Hatter.
Loki and Matt, the younger daughter with the Mad Hatter.
And then Yzma.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
And then the grandfather did. It was the grandfather who does.
Up.
Yeah, from Up, which is like, oh my god, I'll never
It
watch
was
this
It was
movie again.
so cute.
The
Yeah,
whole
he was
family is
cute.
amazing.
No, like he was cute. The movie is just heartbreaking. And if I'm spoiling it, it's too late for you. It's
Just
hard.
watch the first 5 minutes.
Oh my god. I remember being in the movie theater like, okay, what's next? Up next on The Walking Dead. I'm like, why is there a body count in a Pixar film? But anyways, it's very upsetting to me. I'm like sitting there with my fiance, and I'm just like, no. I don't care if some Eagle Scout is going to show up in my life and make me less of an angry man. Like, that's not a filler. Anyways, I have issues with that film. Kevin Pichon, Graham Modoc, Core Geek Props. He's just got this exuberance about cosplay, and it's kind of terrifying. Not terrifying in a bad way, but it's just like he just loves making armor and costumes
And he's
props.
super supportive of so many
Super
cosplayers
supportive
out there.
all the time.
Like, I post something and he's
without
like, "Great job."
agenda.
Yeah.
Like,
And
like,
then, like, so many other people I know, like, I see him posting, like, great job, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Like, it's so nice to have someone that you know is so good at what they do, and they're
Right.
complimenting on something you've made, and it's, like, a really good feeling.
and it's never that share for share
So,
stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
you get
Yeah.
message. When some people become more popular, you get love.
Yep.
I'll share this if you like. It's a trade off, like a commodity, and like no, he's just going to share all of your stuff if he's your fan, and that's what's great. So, I said nice things about you, Corky.
Yeah.
I expect things in return. No. He
Get more
says, "I'm
subscribers."
building an ECCC. How many C's are we? I don't know.
I just end up calling
Costume
it.
night now.
I just end up calling it
Nice.
EC3.
EC3 is way cooler
Oh
sounding.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the one, the
Just
Zelda.
call it
You should
EC3.
tell. Well, people get confused with E3. But
Yeah, but that's why you added the C in there.
yeah, the EC3. I like EC3. That's pretty. Okay.
I like it.
I'm going to use the adjective boss.
It's just easier. And then you don't have to start counting.
We got
Nice
Mike
scenes.
Warden here as well. He's talking about how much he hates Wonderflex.
Oh.
And that is the bane of his existence.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's Ulfgar Props, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but his armor is fantastic. The stuff that he did, it was just like stuff that you just want to wear and lounge around in because it's like
Nice.
like furs and leathers and a little bit of chainmail. It's like the relaxed kind of Nordic look thing going on. Him and his
Nice.
girlfriend at the time had actually won Best Couples Cosplay at Wizard World Portland, and they were hilarious. They were great.
Awesome.
Lots of.
Yeah.
He's very, very exceptionally talented, and I believe his girlfriend is very good at sewing and stuff like that. And then she's like personality plus. Like she was so excited to be there, and that was her first time being in a contest, and she won.
That's impressive.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
she was. I remember her being very excited. So, yes, he says, "Yep, that's me."
Yeah.
Yes, we have identified you. We know who you are. What are the things that, for both of you, that's on your mind the most when it comes to cosplay? Are there issues that you've never been asked about, or hurdles that you constantly find yourself running into? Do you guys ever see yourself not doing this? Because for me, doing this documentary is an art, and I will do it forever. I can't go to all the conventions I want to because I can't afford to, which is the same problem all cosplayers run into. But for you, it's an art. You're never gonna really stop doing
Yeah, like it's kind of a need to create something.
Right.
If it's not like specifically cosplay related, I at least have to be making something with a goal in mind for artwork. Like when I was little, I was all excited to like kind of like explore different art forms, but then I got really like kind of scared off of it because it was like I don't want to become a starving artist, and I went into my second love, which was like biology and like
And
science
that's when you
stuff.
went to Cornell.
And that's what I went into for like my major was for natural resources, and then at the end of that, I
At
was
one of the hardest schools in the country.
yeah,
by
and
the
then I was
way.
like, and then I turned and did a 180, and I was like, no, you know what? I have to do the creative stuff. Like I can't not do it, and like it's just one of those things where you just
And you need to understand the passion. My brother
You have
went
to.
to Cornell University. It is Ivy League, and it is one of those schools where people will break down. So it's really, I mean, there's a high bar. So Brittany decided to go for art.
I after doing 4 years there, and then
Yeah,
I was like,
I know, like
I'm gonna pull a 180 and move across the country and do art.
yeah. She likes art a lot.
Yeah.
That's what you should take away.
And basically, yeah, if you want to just create art, like, everybody should just create awesome stuff, because...
Okay, what are you guys wearing today? First off, leggings. I'm sure someone is going to be interested in what the leggings are.
Yeah. There is just Batman versus Azrael.
Azrael. Oh, very
yeah.
cool.
And then a Batman shirt. I figured I'd
You're
go
a
with the theme.
fan of the Batman?
No, I like Superman.
Oh, you like Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, weird.
Clearly,
Right.
I need more.
Is anyone? Are you excited
I
for the
like
Batman
clothing.
versus Superman movie?
I don't know what to think of it. The Batman versus Superman thing is just weird. It's like it's everywhere.
It
like,
has to be
culture. It's
handled so well. It has to be
Yeah.
handled in the Frank Miller sense of the word. Like, and that's what's kind of funny. Is like Ben Affleck. I almost said Ben Stiller.
Like,
Wow. There would be like
I can see
buildings
that.
would be burned.
I can see that.
No. But Ben Affleck has to be this very grungy, not grungy, but very crusty Batman at that point. Like very, like he's been around the block for a while. Kind of angry Batman when Superman and him meet to make that work.
Yeah, well, and it's, like, pretty much anyone that's, like, into comics, there's always the like, who is it, Batman or Superman? And then who would win in a fight, and who's better, and there's always the verses with that. So it's, like, you have to really, like, tread carefully making a movie of this.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're gonna, like, half the people are just gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
And then
I
the
know.
other half
It is.
will be-
That's like, how do you
like,
win? And
yeah.
And I don't know how people. I don't remember what the reaction was to Frank Miller's, and they also made a actually a really beautiful animated film out of it as well. Where and I don't want to spoil who wins, but yeah, Superman fans. I just said Superman fans were really annoyed. But the thing that's interesting about Batman is he is not only the greatest detective, but he's probably the smartest member of the Justice League. I mean, that his superpower is he has a lot of resources, but he's also the smartest guy. And he also is the most, I would say, thoughtful, constantly thinking about things. So I can see Batman outsmarting Superman, and Superman becoming too used to his powers and not necessarily expecting that conflict.
Well, and Superman's morality level is different, I'd say, too.
Yeah,
Like, he's
yeah.
more of a, like, I can't do this.
Right, and Batman's always skeetering on that
the
edge. I mean, he has a hardcore morality, but he is on the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he does not genuinely like other people. I mean, he's like
Suddenly this
he's
turned
made
into
comments
a
about
Batman
Lois
versus
Lane.
Superman,
Like, like really, I don't get it. Like he's like Batman can be a dick, but I do like Batman. Sorry, just had to. I'm excited to see what may happen. I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad. I think that could be amazing. Just all villains. I think DC needs to do this when it comes to Marvel right now. They need to like up the game
DC does need to step it up.
because they come out with a movie where it's just villains. That's bold. Like when you're just going to see the Joker and Harley Quinn, and the casting so far is really great. Though, who's the Joker again? I forget his name. It's the blonde guy from Fight Club. Somebody help me right now. Chat room. Because he's not in a lot of films lately. He's got his own band. Megan, who's the Joker?
Chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp. I can't believe I'm forgetting it. He just doesn't pop up a lot these days. I thought Cillian Murphy would have been the perfect Joker, and I understand that he's Scarecrow, but I think that doesn't matter. They should just recast him as the Joker. I thought he was the Joker in the first movie trailer. The first time, I thought he would have been a great Joker. I'm just going to keep on talking about Batman until I need to.
That's okay. I still love the Joker. I love the Joker in Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's and what's great is
I love it.
that version of the Joker will be owned by him forever.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to see
Love it.
that more Jared Leto. I'm sure he did something in the casting that must have been like crazy, and they're just like, you're hired. But so far the casting looks good.
To cast us.
I'm having a hard time putting a face to that because I'm terrible with names, especially when it comes to actors. So like,
I can see him looking like the very atypical skinny face Joker.
Okay.
Like I can see him being the more comic book looking, and that's kind of why I hope Cillian Murphy was going to be in this as well. But oddly enough, Bane, the actor who plays Bane, is also going to be in this movie as a different character. So Tom Hardy, great, he's awesome.
Yep, I have a few friends that are a little obsessed with that.
Honestly, Michael Fassbender as the Joker would be the end of all time.
And that's my Hollywood.
This happens every time I mention Michael Fassbender. People are like, Michael Fassbender.
There's just something about him that's so intriguing. I don't know. He's not really.
Watch Prometheus.
He's
like
not really
I can't stop watching Prometheus just because I'm watching your every facial take.
Yeah.
Clearly, I don't know this face because I'm not having a reaction to this.
I'm
not knowing
young
this.
Magneto.
Young Magneto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a guy. I have a guy crush on Fassbender.
That's
I guess.
okay.
Okay, we could be friends. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So
You want to lick his brain?
he's a great Magneto. He's
lick
amazing.
his brain?
We could start a fan club.
Do I want
Do you
to
want
what?
to lick his brain?
I don't want to lick his brain
Oh.
or anything. It's a man crush.
There are boundaries that show.
If he walked into the room, I'd be like, "Oh my god!" I would lose my shit.
That's a lovely
It's Christopher
face.
Walken, Michael Fassbender, and I think that's Tom Waits. Like Tom Waits, I would have a panic attack, throw up, and die. And I've had him yell in my ear with a bullhorn.
The whole not recoccogning names is hitting me so much. Like you're
Such a
just saying these
wave,
names, and I'm like,
wave.
I don't recognize.
Tell us
these
about
names.
League of Legends, Brittany.
I can talk about League.
How's Twitch going for you, by the way? You're streaming on Twitch
Yes,
now.
I am streaming while I work now. And yeah, it's been actually really fun and good. It's been a good feeling. Usually I have this thing with technology. Technology just doesn't like me. I have tech.
Well, I felt that way the last 2 live streams.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the tech gremlins. They happen, but I'm trying to work through it, and I've been having, Ian's been helping me get through the tech gremlins. But the streaming's been good. It's been good. I've been streaming while I work so I can show my process, and so people end up having questions and chat, and, just sharing all the information and trying to help
Now,
people learn.
you're streaming your cosplay building process on Twitch.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a new area of Twitch now where
Yeah.
you can do this.
It's called Creative.
Creative,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Because
It
you're
is-
not like,
It is.
where's my damn video games? It's just like creative shit is
This is
happening on
creative.
Twitch.
Yeah.
You should come here.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
There's a lot of digital artists that stream on Creative.
Now, have you ever done YouTube Live before?
No, I've never tested
Okay, so
out
you're
YouTube
not
Live
you
stuff.
can't really do a fair comparison of
Yeah, I don't know about YouTube Live stuff.
right.
But the Twitch has been doing pretty well for me so far.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if anybody during the afternoons
How
just
do
want
we
to have
find
something
you?
on the back.
Yeah. What times are you available?
I'm usually working from noonish through the afternoons, and usually I tweet when I'm on. As soon as I go live, I tweet it. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Britthebadger on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's Britthebadger on Twitch. It's just Britthebadger everywhere.
Put the badger everywhere.
So, yeah.
And I'm being informed by Von Blog that apparently Tom Hardy dropped out of Suicide Squad, which is fine. I wasn't a big fan of his character anyways, so sad. Anyways, update. Entertainment updates live on Cosplay Boom. This is what I like about collective community knowledge. This is why we're going to do more and more live streams. A couple other things we're going to eventually do. We're going to start doing Let's Play videos, but in cosplay. So that's going to get hot and awkward, but it will look great on video.
Sweat will drench.
I am working with an Iron Man cosplayer right now to play Iron Man 3, the video game, and I think that will be hilarious because I am familiar with that game. So we will see. See, I think we should get you to play Elise on Cosplay Boom Live.
Oh God.
And League of Legends, and see how long you can do it without dying.
Well, as long as I have a stool.
Literally dying.
No stool.
No stool.
You have to stand the whole time. Let's look at the B-roll.
No.
Let's look at the B-roll. So
No.
this is Elise, and
Those
eventually we're gonna.
shoes.
Those are the shoes.
Those shoes suck.
So those shoes, no stool. How long can you play? It's a terrible idea. We're not doing it.
Good.
We'll get sued. How did she break both of her ankle bones? I don't know. It's a weird thing.
But, yeah.
So that's a great place to find you as well. Do you still do live streaming for actually playing League of
Yes,
Legends?
I do. Every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific time, I start doing ARAMs with whoever wants to come play. I stream it, and so whoever's there on stream, I do, like, I guess it's like fan ARAMs. So if anybody wants to come play ARAMs and just be complete dorks and, you know, randomness.
ARAMs are the only League games I enjoy.
Well, you should come play with me then. Come play with me on Tuesday nights. You haven't ever come.
Okay, I'm not guilted at all. No.
Not live. Do you find that your significant others are very supportive of your hobbies?
Yeah. My boyfriend Colin really. A lot of times he'll ask you, "Do you need help with? Do you want me to make a prop for you?" Because he does some of the weapons that
Right.
I've done. We usually work 50-50 on the weapons if it's something, but he has more patience than I do. So that sanding thing she was talking about earlier, sometimes with the weapons, like he'll sand stuff down and do the detail. Like I'm like, whatever, that's good enough. Yeah, we're good. But he'll actually help with stuff, but he doesn't cosplay. So, and he's not really a big crowd person either. So
Yeah,
he's in the shadows.
I find that a lot of men aren't. It seems to be, in my opinion, a lot of the men I see who do cosplay tend to cover their faces.
Yeah.
It is a tendency of hiding. And I
Well, yeah,
would love to
'cause-
figure out the psychology
see,
of
the
that. But
thing
even
is-
when
I
I think of
actually-
cosplays I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I want to have like a mask for
Oh.
some reason.
Initially, when I started doing this, because I was so shy, all of my stuff was pretty much all of it. I was like, can I have a mask? Like, do I have a mask on? Like, once, like, my first costume that really got a lot of like attention was my humanoid GLaDOS.
That was
like,
fantastic, yeah.
And that was covering half my face, and my next one after that was Oriana, which is my full face is covered. So it's like, I was really like kind of shy. Like once people started like recognizing my work, I was like, oh, thank God I had a mask on. Like, and I was so nervous when I started doing. I believe after Oriana, I did Sejuani, and I was really nervous because my whole face would be shown.
Right.
And I was really, really nervous about it, but I've since kind of gotten my confidence built up with that. But yeah, it can be really scary just to
It's
show
really
your
kind
face.
of. Has it really changed your life when you think about the progress that you can get, especially when you get older? Things can become stagnant, and this can just be how it is.
Yeah.
Especially after college and high school, the friendships that you made are kind of it, and then you work with people, and then maybe those will be your friends as well. But you guys have developed a lot of friends.
Yeah, no, I've met so many. Like, JJ was actually one of the first people I met when Ian and I first met when we moved out to Seattle.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I was like, I saw her old costume and
That's how you guys became friends.
Like, and I realized, I don't remember, I think it was through my
Sejuani,
friend.
I
Yeah, you're Sejuani, and then we were talking to you, and you're like, oh, and I was like, oh, did you see that amazing Oriana cosplayer? You're like, oh yeah, that was me. I'm like, oh, let's be friends. Let's be friends.
Friendship is magical.
But I wanted to go back to the mask thing. Females, like, our makeup is our mask.
Right.
So
no,
we're
this is
kind
true.
of,
This is true.
you know,
Yeah.
we're covered technically. Like that's we're not going out with our normal everyday faces. We're going out with
Right.
makeup on.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot more longer sometimes in some ways.
Sometimes some costumes it takes 3 hours to do makeup. Sometimes it's just
Some people
like,
are still better about the costumes they've chosen to do.
Some people aren't. I don't know. Is it masochistic?
Yeah.
Yeah, masochistic.
I don't. It's one of them. It's an istic. It's one of the istics.
I kind of torture myself at times.
Do you feel that you guys have kind of changed personally because of cosplay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even my fiance Megan and I have changed very rapidly because moving to Seattle, it was kind of hard to find our people. Even though Seattle is like the nerd capital of the world, this is the nerdiest place ever. Like from Portland to Seattle, it's like the Mos Eisley of nerdiness. Like it's just all the way up. There's cosplay and video games and video game companies and software. Like everyone, like if you love football, well, no, we have football people.
We do.
We do have football people.
We do. 12th man.
We don't have.
Everywhere.
I'm so tired of 12. I'm like, yeah, sorry.
We're doing so well this year. We're gonna score all the points.
All the points.
All the points. Sports ball. Yay.
We're going to make all the baskets. I used to play a lot of
Gonna
sports
go all
actually,
the-
but I never enjoyed watching them.
Gonna go all the way this year.
All the way.
Gonna
Yay.
score more points.
Don't hate
Yay.
us.
Football to me is 1, 2, 3. I'll fall down. So
And you guys have been friends how long now?
since we moved out here, so it's like 2.5-ish, 3-ish.
What made you move to Seattle?
I first moved out to Seattle from New Hampshire, which is where I grew up.
That's a first stretch.
Yeah, we drove all the way, 5 days.
So yeah.
It was crazy. Actually, also Sejuani was halfway done at that point too. So we had like the pig stuffed in like our cap thing that we had strapped to the top of the car as we were driving out. It's insane. But yeah, I actually initially moved out to Seattle because I decided to do the full 180, and there was a school for video game design and art stuff out in Seattle called AIE that I ended up being able to get. It was like for a 2-year program that I only ended up going through 1 year because I realized halfway through that I was like, well, this is awesome. I'm learning a lot of stuff here, but it's not piquing me as much as my handwork is.
Right.
So I pulled out of it after 1 year, but I learned a lot, and that's what initially got me out to Seattle.
Yeah, I left an art school for that same reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't like
I was accelerating more at home than I was accelerating at the actual.
yeah, like it was
university.
awesome. It was like cool. Like I'm learning all these like 3D modeling techniques and learning all this art stuff, but like the satisfaction of being able to make stuff and being bounded by physics was just much more of a brain puzzle to me than just building something that floats in a computer program.
And you got Medford.
Yeah.
But why did you come up to Seattle? That's a big change.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's the big city.
I moved up here, 11 years ago, probably. So when I moved up when I was like 19. So I just moved up here for mostly economy reasons. There's nothing down. Everyone with a degree was going for the same minimum wage job down in Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
And I moved up here with a friend, and I don't want to ever go back. I love it. I love Seattle. I love this. All the comic book nerds and all the gaming nerds. Just like the culture up here is so great, and there's so much to do.
And you never feel like the weird person. Like that's, I think.
Yeah.
Anyone
There's
who's
always
watching the
someone
live
weirder.
stream right now who does not live in Seattle, you should understand like this really is becoming a mecca for just being a nerd, and you can dress in the most nerdy thing ever, and people are just going to drive by and they're going to think, oh, that's cool. Like that's the fashion bar, is being a geek. And if you're not a geek, then you're kind of left out.
They're like, well, what do you do for fun? Or like, oh, I like watch TV and stuff. You're like, but you don't read.
Play a lot of video games. Do you go hiking?
No, it's
In
weird
my
when
mind.
people don't do those things. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird when people don't play video games and don't read comics.
Yeah,
and
that's the
aren't into,
strangeness.
like, if you like, what do you do for fun if you don't do any of those things?
I go
don't
drinking.
Understand.
Like I don't understand what you're
Yeah.
telling me right now. You go drinking and do what? Play video games?
Yeah.
This is drunken dragon age. Yeah. So this is a great place to live. I don't know why I'm promoting Seattle. I would like to see Seattle become this mecca of cosplay. So, is there any other projects you guys would like to mention before we wrap up the show? We're about an hour right now.
Wow.
Again, let's check out Britt's Facebook page. You don't have a Facebook page of your own yet.
No, but if you Google Vandersnark, VANDERSNARK.
Google Vandersnark.
Vandersnark. Everything under there is me. It could be from my old World of Warcraft days. It could be my Facebook. It could be my DeviantArt. It could be my Twitter. It's everything I like. That's pretty much me. Vandersnark.
I feel like that Vandersnark reminds me of the Jabberwocky. It just reminds me of Lewis Carroll speak, which means that we should make Lewis Carroll type stuff.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You too? Yeah,
Lewis
you
Carroll
should hit
type
the
stuff.
Alice Madness Returns kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, it's like Vandersnark reminds me of like Bandersnatch and all those types of things. Like
That'd be that could be a cool project to
That'd be
announce
cool.
that you may start on. Maybe we'll see.
Vander-
I just planted seeds of creativity in my head now. You can't think.
It is very
of
difficult to
It's
search for
right now.
Vandersnark. Without getting
Vander-
Vanderstar.
Vandersnark. You just have to type in there.
VANDER.
SNARK in Google. See if that works for you.
It's probably
Is it
largely
changing
because
it?
I am a moron. Yes, Vandersnark, as they spelled it, is a very good way to find all her stuff.
Yeah.
JG is made of wonderful and sparkles.
Wonderful and sparkles all at the same time.
I love you.
So yeah, that's VANDERMARK, and you've got your DeviantArt
Vander.
gallery. Actually, let me try to just put it up here real
You could
quick.
just type in my name.
Oh my god.
So it's a unique name, but it's a very difficult name to spell.
It kind of, you spell it kind of how it sounds though.
Yeah, Vander Snark.
Which do you think is your best page?
My best page.
DeviantArt?
Yeah, DeviantArt kind of shows all the stuff most of the stuff I've worked on anyway.
There you go. This is a good. Oh, good. We can show your.
Pictures.
Let me show your pictures.
I feel like I need like the grumpy cat face saying good.
All right. It's gonna take a little bit to load. Here it is. Vander Snark. Yep. And we've got your Xena the Warrior Princess, a whole bunch of photos. So yeah, go to DeviantArt, Vander Snark, and you will see a whole bunch of your work. It's awesome.
Cool.
So that's a good place. Yeah, always let us know. We will plug your stuff. You're a guest on the show.
Nah.
It's just like the Conan O'Brien show, only with like no budget. We are happy to help other cosplayers. I guess that's gonna wrap it up. I would be remiss if I did not mention that we are running a Patreon, and I will do that as soon as I get back on camera. Basically, what Patreon allows us to do, because we had a Kickstarter more than a year ago where we succeeded and we were making a documentary, and almost all of our episodes are done. So we got about 5 or 6 that are in the works, but we have to start shooting season 2 right now while we're editing season 1. The money that we earn on Patreon, it's kind of like a reoccurring tip jar, and we really don't want any one person to donate too much a month. Like $1 a month is amazing, and if you think about if you can get 1,000 people to donate just $1 a month, that's a tremendous help. That helps us with gas money to drive to conventions when that's cheaper, or to get in a hotel, or to get a plane ticket. That way we can actually meet more cosplayers and shoot them and have the equipment necessary to keep the show going. YouTube, we don't make any money on. It's almost no one on YouTube is really making any big money at this point. That's partially due with algorithms have changed, and that's also because there's so many people on YouTube already. So if you really love cosplay and you like what we're doing and you want us to keep doing a live show, please go to www.patreon.com/cosplayboom. We've got some awesome rewards. We had our soundtrack is done by Sam Hulick, who did the soundtrack for Mass Effect. He did our theme song, and that was like a joy for me to work with him and to come up with a theme song that I thought very much encapsulated being a cosplayer, because it starts off soft and kind of timid, and then it grows in confidence, and then it's badass.
Yeah.
Like all of you. But if you're a cosplayer, or especially if you're not a cosplayer and you would like to support the arts, please check out our Patreon page. That would be awesome. And this is our Patreon page right now, and we're live inside of it. The miracles of my weird video programming.
Inception.
So, anyways, all right, guys. Thank you, Britthebadger. Please check out her Facebook page, her Twitch, her live streams. Be on the lookout for Jennifer Jones. Check out her DeviantArt. She does lots of great cosplay. She's going to be at a couple of conventions here in the Northwest. Say hi, take photographs, and as always, be very, very polite. And yeah, these are 2 incredibly nice people. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm definitely having you guys back again.
Yay!
You guys are awesome. We could have done a 3-hour live stream, in my opinion, but we would probably break the internet at some point. So anytime, we'll have you back, and we'll just argue about Batman and Superman.
That could work.
That could be a thing. And then League of Legends, we'll just argue about
League.
League stuff.
I'm terrible at the game.
No one
but it's
argues
fun.
about League stuff. That'll be the first live stream ever.
Mind blown.
Oh my god, it was so original. All right, thank you everybody. Thanks for watching the show. Have a good night.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Todd Kenrick, the director for Cosplay Boom,
And I'm producer Megan Sadler.
who is also my fiance. The cosplay community is full of inspiring people.
And we want to keep showing you that.
Your encouragement and your pledges make a huge difference.
And people who pledge will get awesome rewards on Patreon.
Also, Patreon will give you a personal tour into our world.
And every dollar you pledge will help us get closer to our fundraiser goals and make better videos.
You can see all of our fundraising goals and all our awesome rewards on our Patreon page by clicking on the link in this post.
With your help, you can help us make Cosplay Boom the best project ever.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.